He died alone in a small New York hotel room, surrounded by unpaid bills and blueprints for inventions that could have changed the world. Nikola Tesla, the man who dreamed of free energy for all, left this world with little to his name. His final years were spent in solitude. His only companions, the pigeons he fed in a nearby park. The world had forgotten him. The story of Tesla's fall is a story of his rivalry with another giant of the age, Thomas Edison. The light from Edison's bulb cast a very long shadow, and in that shadow stood Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was not like other children. Born during a lightning storm in a small Croatian village, his mother saw it as a sign. From a young age, Nikola's mind worked in extraordinary ways. He saw machines in his imagination, building and testing them entirely in his head. School was difficult. His mind moved too fast for the rigid structure of formal education. He was fascinated by electricity, a force that seemed to speak to him directly. His father, a priest, wanted him to follow in his footsteps. But Tesla's faith was in science. After surviving a near-fatal illness, his father promised to send him to engineering school. Tesla threw himself into his studies, determined to harness electricity for the good of humanity. He saw a world shackled by its limitations and dreamed of something more. Abundant, clean power for all. This was not just a technical challenge, it was a moral crusade. The visions that began in childhood became blueprints for a new era. He was ready to take his dreams to a place where they could become reality. America. The journey of the dreamer was just beginning. In 1884, Nikola Tesla arrived in New York City with hope and a letter of introduction to Thomas Edison. The letter called Tesla one of the two greatest men the writer had ever known. The other being Edison. Edison was a master of trial and error. Tesla worked from pure theory and vision. Tesla saw flaws in Edison's DC system and offered improvements. But when Tesla asked for his promised reward, Edison laughed it off. Disillusioned and broke, Tesla's vision remained undimmed. The war of currents was about to begin. After leaving Edison, Tesla was forced to dig ditches to survive. Even then, his mind kept working. He spoke of a new system, alternating current or AC. Unlike DC, AC could be transmitted over long distances with little loss. Edison had built his empire on DC and saw AC as a threat to his business and legacy. Edison was not just an inventor, but a powerful industrialist with deep-pocketed backers. Tesla found new investors and established his own lab, finally free to build the motors he dreamed of. He perfected the AC induction motor, a revolutionary, reliable device. With AC generators and his new motor, Tesla had a system far superior to Edison's DC. The confrontation was more than technical. It was a clash of philosophies. Edison represented incremental progress and commercial gain. Tesla represented radical innovation and visionary leaps. The battle lines were drawn. The war of currents was about to ignite. The future of electricity and the modern world hung in the balance. Two titans, two visions, one winner. The world would never be the same. Tesla's fight was just beginning. The stakes had never been higher. The fight for America's electrical future had begun. Edison, with his DC system, had money, connections, and the press. Tesla's AC was superior, but he was an outsider. Edison couldn't win on technical merit, so he turned to fear. He launched a public campaign to convince people that AC was deadly. Gruesome demonstrations electrocuted animals with AC to shock the public. Edison's associates staged these events, inviting reporters to witness the horror. Pamphlets and stories exaggerated the dangers of AC. Tesla countered with logic and demonstrations, even passing AC through his own body to light a lamp. But fear is louder than reason, and Edison's campaign was effective. The war of currents was now a battle for public perception. Edison's war against AC reached its darkest point with the electric chair. Publicly, Edison refused to help, but secretly, his engineers advised using AC for executions. The first electrocution was a gruesome failure, sensationalized by the press as proof of AC's danger. Edison fed stories to reporters, amplifying every accident and stoking public fear. He argued that AC wires would kill children, creating a moral panic. Tesla, a scientist at heart, found the spectacle distasteful. He continued to demonstrate AC's safety and superiority, but the narrative was against him. The war was not just about technology, it was about perception. Edison was a master of shaping public opinion. Tesla was fighting not just for his invention, but for the truth. Just as Edison's campaign seemed unstoppable, George Westinghouse entered the fray. Westinghouse, a wealthy inventor, saw the potential of Tesla's AC motor. He offered Tesla $1 million for his patents and a generous royalty. More importantly, he became the partner Tesla needed. Westinghouse was ready to challenge Edison head-on. The alliance changed everything. Now it was Westinghouse Electric versus Edison General Electric. Legal battles and corporate warfare escalated. Cities across America had to choose their electrical future. Westinghouse's company won key contracts, including the hydroelectric project at Niagara Falls. But the ultimate prize was still ahead. The contract to light the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. The world was watching. The outcome would decide the future of electricity. The 1893 Chicago World's Fair was said to be the greatest spectacle of its time. The contract to light the fair was the ultimate test in the war of currents. Edison's General Electric bid over $1 million to light the fair with DC. Westinghouse and Tesla, using AC, bid less than half that amount. Despite political pressure, the committee chose Westinghouse. Edison refused to sell his light bulbs, but Westinghouse quickly produced his own. The pressure was immense. Failure would mean public humiliation. On opening night, President Cleveland pressed a button, and the fair exploded in brilliant light. Tesla's AC system performed flawlessly for 6 months. Visitors were awed by the scale and beauty of the illumination. Tesla stood proudly in the Hall of Electricity, demonstrating his inventions. The war of currents was over. AC had won. The world would never look back. The victory at the World's Fair should have secured Tesla's future. His AC system was now the standard, and his royalty agreement promised him great wealth. But the battle had nearly bankrupted Westinghouse. Powerful bankers threatened to destroy Westinghouse unless he cancelled Tesla's royalties. Westinghouse asked Tesla for help. Tesla faced a choice: insist on his contract and become rich, or save his partner and the AC system. In an act of selflessness, Tesla tore up the contract, giving up millions to save Westinghouse. It was a noble gesture, but it left Tesla's own future uncertain. He turned to an even bigger dream: wireless energy. He built a massive tower at Wardenclyffe, hoping to transmit power around the globe for free. J.P. Morgan initially funded him, but pulled out when he realized Tesla's plan was to give energy away. The project collapsed. Tesla was left broke, his greatest dream shattered by the realities of commerce. The world moved on, but Tesla's vision remained. The price of his dream was everything he had. The failure of Wardenclyffe marked the start of Tesla's decline. Without funding, his grandest visions remained unbuilt. He spent his last years moving from hotel to hotel, often in debt. The man who powered the modern world became a recluse, largely forgotten. For years, Edison was celebrated as the father of electricity, while Tesla faded into obscurity. But truth cannot stay hidden forever. Gradually, the world rediscovered Tesla's genius. His name now graces a pioneering electric car company, a fitting tribute. Tesla's story is a lesson about genius and society's responsibility to nurture it. He was driven not by profit, but by a desire to improve humanity. His failure was not of intellect, but of a world unready for his generosity. The lights that brighten our cities and the motors that power our lives are his legacy. Nikola Tesla may have died alone, but his light could not be dimmed. His legacy hums in the wires all around us, a constant reminder of the dreamer who gave us the future.